Hey guys, Dr. Von Mad here, and we're about to start working on the next project for the fall. And this time, I'm not real sure what I'm going to do yet, but I can tell you we're going to start with this right here. This fall, word fall. I think I've got something in mind. I'll tell you what we're going to need as we're doing it. You know, sometimes I like to kind of do this whole, what we're doing as we're doing it kind of thing. So we're starting off with this right here. This is a wood word by Doris. I think I paid about maybe $2 or $3 at Walmart for it. And that's wood, so we're going to be able to make use of that. I wish they'd sanded it better, but we'll go with that. So what we're going to do, you can see right here where they've maybe dovetailed in something or what all. So it's apparently been some sort of adjusted thing. I know first it's going to have a paint job, so we're going to go with that first. Then I'm going to need my rag because I'm going to try to kind of rusticize it here using fall colors. I kind of got an idea for what we're going to do. And I'm going to put I've got some felt leaves that we can use for highlights on it. So let's get her started, shall we? So for starters, let's lay this dude down and kind of set this camera where you can see what I'm doing. Oh, not that far over. Okay, there we go. Now, we'll start with some pure orange. Just because. And we'll use big wide fat brush here. Get this water off of it. Like I said, I kind of keep water handy because wet brush to do this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and you want to make sure you have the right letter. You'll see the wood grains going across this way, so you kind of want to follow that wood grain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this, and hopefully this thing's not going to shed like a Sharpie. What I'm going to try to do is kind of gently go from one color to the next. It's kind of an accent type thing, I think. Let me get the letter F, and then I'm gonna. Now some people would spray paint this outright. That's not what I'm about. Now, go ahead and put this away, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this rag, my paint rag here. We're gonna take this over here, and I'm gonna wipe off all the excess paint. More or less trying to stain the wood rather than actually painting it. Makes it look a little more, I don't know, I just kind of like the look of it. Now, see, I think that looks really cool. Now, let's go with a little pale daffodil this time. And for that, we'll grab our fat brush again and clean it off good. We're going to try to seamlessly link the two colors together. Then I'll wipe those off. Now, I should have probably gotten some darker yellow, but what are you going to do? We're going to go with, I kind of like the pastel, even though that's usually yells more summer than anything else. But now, I'll connect that here, put that away, put our yellow paint over here. Like I said, we're going to be trying to do the same thing with fall that we did with Halloween in October. We're going to try to decorate for the season as inexpensively as we can. Now here's where it gets kind of interesting, guys. I want you to pay attention right in here, because what we're going to do is we're going to try to blend the two right here, so it kind of just seamlessly blends in. And see, now that's actually quite dry to the touch now, without being overly. Now, let's go with a little nutmeg brown. No, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's go with spiced berry. I like that. And we're going to do that on one L, and then I'll do brown on the other L. So, you know, this yellow, daffodil yellow off the brush. I'm using a bigger brush because we're not having to use as much detail. If you were painting a canvas, you'd probably use this type of brush for painting your backdrop. Let's see, I want to kind of merge it just a hair. And I'll probably use a couple of other colors because I'm just kind of gradually wanting to. So we're going to do it like this. And, you know, decorating for the seasons doesn't have to be a nightmare. You don't have to be like Martha Stewart or buy a fortune and stuff from any place. Usually, if you know where to look, or if you decide to upcycle, you're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. And we're going to be doing some upcycling coming up. It's just I picked up a lot of these crafts and thought these craft stuff the other day, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of start with it and kind of work our way back. So what we're going to do is kind of just sweep that down. I want to blend that right in there. I kind of like that. Looks nice. Now, let's go with our nutmeg brown now. Remember, it's always going to be fall colors here. Oh, and you know, the fall palette will be always browns, reds, yellows, orange. It's interesting as the season cools off that the colors in fact get warmer, whereas in the fall, in the spring and the summer, you start getting some really bright, cheery colors, almost a pastel, really muted colors, which is kind of an odd thing. Now, we're going to go ahead and get this stuff cleaned off. I'm trying to debate right now whether I want a clear coat or not, because you got to understand, a lot of what I do is on the fly. I knew I was going to paint this, but I mean, you can just kind of do it this way, but I think I'm going to add a few more little accents to it. And see, this one here will almost, it kind of works as a nice counterpoint to the spiced berry red on the first L. So let's go ahead and put this away, and we'll go ahead and hit this one with the rag too to clean it off. So let's get this over here. Got to find a place on this rag it doesn't have wet paint on it, because I've been drying these out, kind of brushing this down. Now, there you go. Now let's take a look at this here from the top. Let's get this underneath the light where we can see. I kind of dig it. Now I could go over the top of it and everything, and I might do that. But for that, we'll turn it around like so, and we'll hit it from the top now. The back of it we don't necessarily have to hit. Oh, no. Me being a klutz. Now, we'll go ahead and hit the top of this with the various colors now to kind of mimic all this, because I want it to be kind of, it's not a storefront, it's not a false front, so we're going to do it like this. Kind of pick it up along here. Might have to turn it around like so. We are going to try to wipe this down as much as we can. Because see, what it is they cut these out of a jig or jigsaw. Unfortunately, it sometimes will end up going counter to the grain, which makes it a pain in the neck to paint. Now, I guess if you had the time to sand it down, which I did not think about doing, I didn't think about getting any sandpaper, which would have probably been really useful, but it is what it is. So I'm trying to see, like right here, you got a rough spot right here that doesn't want to take the paint as readily because you have so many pits in it. So I'm trying to get in here and do this best as I can. I got a little paint where I didn't want it. Turn this around. I may have to go back and do a little bit of tinkering with that. I'm trying to keep it off the color. Keep my colors from cross-contaminating. See, it got a little bit over here. It got a little bit over here, but I'm going to have to touch it up with some daffodil yellow anyway. Alright. Let's get our rag and see if I can clean some of this extra off of it now. So what we're going to do is come around here up on top. I said it's not going to be perfect up around the edges because you're not going to see it as much. But now, go ahead and get the yellow back out, and then we'll go with a smaller brush. I think that's the lesson to be learned there. We'll go for this one, which is another kind of a short fat brush, but nowhere near as big as the first one we were using. Now, what you want to do here, we're going to try to touch this up, and we got a stringer. Get rid of that. So I don't want it getting over onto the rest of this. And any area where I think it's going to be, we got more stringers right here. Got some sort of polymer going on. Something got into the paint, looks like. Now, go ahead and touch that up, and then we'll do it again now. Let's go ahead and put up the yellow paint for right now. Get our rag. I'm looking for the other rag. I got another paint rag here somewhere. And we'll polish from the back side in case that I make a terrible mistake. I can't get too much in there, but still, let's go with our spice berry. Grab our brush, clean her off. See how many minutes we got left on the video here. I may have to start another file up. Very gently you got to get into this one. And you've got all the problems of the letter A here, but you don't want to go too crazy with it. It's an awkward thing to paint, I'll give you that, because you're going to have to go up through here and make sure now put that away. Yeah, and if you're here in the United States, tomorrow morning will be election day. And I urge everybody to go vote. Now, granted, you know, I've never made it any secret where I lean as far as that goes. The reason that I lean that way, because that I can see the results. But that's neither here nor there. Just remember to go vote. And like I said, if you'll let reason be your guide, you will vote red. But that's another matter. Now, let's go ahead and touch up this. You will vote. Yeah. Vote for your freedoms, not for free stuff. As a YouTuber, as a creator, as an artist, as an American, I cannot go with the way that the far left has been doing things. And they have become increasingly the mainstream within the Democratic Party. Now, I don't usually get on my soapbox, but I'm going to get a little bit on my soapbox right here. And it's not like it's going to surprise anybody, so don't get all upset. People know where I stand. People have always known where I stand. These people oppose our history. They don't understand. They see places on a map down here in the South, and it's just real estate to them. I can take you through my hometown up here at Camden, and I can show you where I took my wife on our first date. I can show you the church where I got baptized, or the creek where I got baptized. I can show you the church where we got married. The house that I grew up in, the house my friend, one of my best friends grew up in, and I know, you know, each point on a map has a memory attached to it. What General Lee called sacred geography. Now, enough of the soapboxing. Alright guys, so we got our lettering done, and I think that looks genuinely very nice. We'll kind of touch that up a little bit. Get rid of this right here. Now we got to add some touches to it. Now, I bought some leaves. Some fall leaves, and we're going to use some of these. Got some maples and got some other things. So I've got this green one right here, and I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'll figure out something. Because I kind of want to use it all. Now, I think green works really well with... So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this where you can see it. And we'll glue this green leaf right here. Yellow and brown. Let's see how that looks. I don't want to obscure my lettering. That's going to be my main problem. So, I don't like it there. Brown's really not a good color for this one, I don't think. It would have looked good on this yellow right here, but I don't want it interfering with the way that this thing writes. So I may end up putting, maybe that's not a bad idea. Kind of more, a little more subdued, but let's see what we can do with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a red leaf right, or green leaf, and a brown leaf right next to it right here. Now, we'll grab a red oak leaf. Maybe glue it in right here. Don't want to obscure that other leaf, so maybe we'll take her down here or up here on this corner. Let's kind of glue this one down like that. I like that. Now, the leaves here, these foam leaves, these felt leaves, I actually got from, I believe, Dollar Tree. Now, trying to remember exactly where. Okay, now that's dark brown. Let's see. I think that's going to blend too much with the lettering, so we won't use that. A green one, maybe. Glue that right in here. Maybe. It's kind of a nice contrast, and I need to put some glue underneath here to kind of support it. Get this extra off of it. Now, let's see what else we got. So I've got maple leaves on the one side. We'll put a yellow one here. Well, maybe at the... Put it in the middle here, just straight up. I don't want to obscure the other two leaves too much, but I do kind of want to have some nice contrast. Now, if you had some acorns or something, you could glue them right in there. That would be a very nice touch indeed. Now, let's see how this looks. I think that's about right. I do believe that looks really good. Now remember, all you really need is some paint, some brushes, these wooden words, you can buy them at Walmart, and these felt leaves, which I believe you can also get at Walmart. I think I got those at Dollar Tree, yeah. So this whole thing maybe cost maybe $6 for the lot, and if you really wanted to, you could have painted the whole thing and then kind of blended it in as you went. But I think it looks pretty decent as it stands. So, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified, and I will see you cats on the flip side. Don't forget to follow us on Pinterest, Patreon, and Facebook. And good night.